Hey guys, yeah. So basically, I think I already finished most of the finite group topics. At least the finite also a good representation for finite groups. And yeah, so basically most of the videos I think it shows also finality and shows lemma, G invariant, and also compute some uh character table. Basically, I will keep updating this video list if I see some finite group theory, which is finite group representation theory, which is interesting. But this video, I want to open a new topic, but still put into this video list. Basically, it's the Lie group representation, and I will create a Lie group and Lie algebra in the future. But for this one, I just want to introduce a little bit about the Lie group and its representation, and hope you guys subscribe to my channel. And you can see my background. Okay, I mean, although I guess I guess most of them you don't understand. Okay, okay, but it's fine. So let me just so in this video, I will give the short introduction to a representation of the compact Lie group. So this is like the introduction after you learn about the finite group theory. Okay, so let me just quickly say what's Lie groups. So Lie group G is a group such that G is differentiable. So you should view as a group, and the G is a differentiable manifold. Okay, so G is a group. The second is that G is a differentiable manifold. And I will not write all the definition of manifold. Basically, you have local charts, and your local chart is homeomorphic to some open ball in the Rn dimension. And there is a transition map which is compatible. Okay. And the third one is basically you have GH map to GH and the G map to G inverse. So these two maps are all C infinity maps. So basically, they're all differentiable maps. Okay, and so basically, you can view GH map to GH is a map from G cross G to G. So you can view this as a product topology, such that so you can talk about what's the C infinity maps, and the G map to G is also so basically these are all maps from two manifolds. So you can you can give a definition what C infinity by just define its local chart. Okay, so these are definition of Lie groups. Okay, and then most of the Lie groups, at least in my content, is a matrix group. So general linear group complex number, SLNR. So special linear group, SON. And also unitary groups, special linear group with complex number, and the SUN, and also symplectic group, our Lie groups. Okay, so basically, most of the interest that people care about are the matrix groups. Okay, and the reason is due to the theorem called Adolph's theorem, which I will not prove it. I just write down the definition. I just write down the results. So every compact Lie group. Oh, by the way, so compact it's basically the in the analysis sense. Right? So you can ask what's the compact manifold. Okay, so every compact Lie group, because if you have a metric every topological space, right, you can ask about what's compact. So basically every open cover has finite subcover. Okay. So every compact Lie groups can be realized as closed subgroups of metric groups. Okay, so basically just one sentence. One sentence that you can view each Lie group, compact Lie group, as closed subgroups of the matrix groups. So basically, you can just study all the matrix groups. Okay. And now there is a thing called the algebra. Let me just also quickly mention. And I will film my own the algebra tutorial in the future. Okay, but let me just quickly. So suppose G is On. So On is the, let's say On for a real number, which is also Golden groups. So it's A belongs to the N by N complex, the real number is such that A transpose is 1, is identity N by N. Also normal groups, right? So since it's manifold, right? So basically, you can view you have a manifold, and since it's groups, there's an identity here, right? So you can define a tangent space at that point. So this is called TEG. So the fact is that if you have the algebra, then your T tangent space at identity will have the spatial structure. This is called the algebra. So basically, the group will give you the algebra at identity. Okay. So yeah, so the computation of a tangent space is like you given a -1 to 1 open interval, and then you map into the On, and then you just define your A to be alpha prime of 0, where your alpha 0 is the identity, right? Identity at this point. Okay. So you get the alpha, right? Alpha transpose alpha, which is identity, and then you differentiable respect to, you just do the differentiable respect to T. So you get alpha prime of T, alpha plus alpha T, alpha prime, which is 0. And you put your alpha 0 is identity. You get your alpha prime T plus alpha prime 0. And then you define this as A, right? So it's A plus A transpose is 0. So A is your Lie algebra, right? So you can view the TE of the orthogonal groups, all the groups, all the matrix, let's say all the matrix with N by N with the real number such that A plus A transpose is 0. So let's call it G. This is just this is the algebra of G. Okay, so this is the algebra. The algebra, and this is the group. Okay, so the identity points, the tangent space at the identity of that points the definition of that tangent space. The element of that tangent space is called the algebra. Okay, and so why is the algebra? And the algebra is basically there's a definition, but I will not write down here. So basically, you can define the bracket AB to be AB minus BA, and easy to show that this have AB equals to minus BA, and the Jacobi identity. Okay, so this is just quick definition, and you can easily check that if you do in the same calculation as I did for the SON, and you need to add the assumption, right? So there's a determinant alpha T to be 1, and you will lead to the trace A 0. Okay, so for the SON, then everything's the same as the orthogonal group. The only difference is that you need to define a traceless, right? So this is the addition, another condition, and also you can check for special unitary groups. So special unitary groups are the N by N complex number, such that it's unitary and its determinant is 1. Okay, so this is the special unitary groups. So let me just write down special unitary. And then you can also do my calculation as just do the differentiation and put alpha of 0 is identity. And I think you will get you will get this one. So you can check that the Lie algebra of the SUN will be all the complex number such that a dagger is the conjugate and transpose. The conjugate transpose plus A is 0, and also trace A is 1. Sorry, trace A is 0 because you have this condition. Okay. Okay, so now given any AB belongs to TEG, then you can define inner product. So usually this inner product is defined to be this. This is for the SU. This is for the SUN. So basically, this is just the Euclidean metric. in Cn by n. Okay, and you can check there is a G invariance by define GA, GB, defined to be trace of BT, GT, GA. So right, so if G, let's consider G to be SUN. So this guy will give you trace of BTA, so which is AB. Okay, so right, this will give you the Riemannian matrix. Riemannian matrix. I'm stupid. Riemannian. Sorry, Riemannian matrix. Let's say on G. Okay. So every time you have a G invariance, then you can define a G invariance integral. Okay, so which is the famous Haar major. Okay, and I will not prove the fact. Basically, its theorem is that every compact Lie group has uniquely Haar major. Okay, so the Haar major basically is that you can define a DG, right, for each G from let's say C infinity to G to complex number. These are left invariant. So basically, the idea is that in the finite group theory, you can define a row G as V, and the sum over G belongs to G1 over G, and you can prove that this map, right? This map is G invariant. If you times another H, then basically you just permute, right? But in the Lie group case, that you have infinite element, right? So you should change the summation into an integral. So basically, it's DG. So basically, you just need to. This is not easy to prove, right? But at least you know that there should be some integral DG, which you can replace all the summation. And this DG is left invariant. So if you times H in this DG, you can do the change of variable, right? And make it invariant. And this type of guy is called Haar major. Okay, and every compact Lie group has a uniquely Haar major. So key idea is that, I mean, if you believe that a compact Lie group has Haar major, then basically you have this summation, right? So you can prove everything similar in the finite group representation, okay? And also, let me just write down definition. I haven't write down definition of the Lie group representation, right? So it's still the same. You just go to G to general linear group V, where in our case, V should be finite dimensional. And in the finite group case, you can define a G invariant. Now in the Lie group's case, you can use this Haar major to give you the definition, give you the results, right? Because you can take integral all over the G and ask about this GV, GW, DG. And this guy is a G invariant. And this DG is the Haar major. So this is the powerful of the Haar major. I mean, I guess only this one. I guess once you have this, then you can believe that you can just keep doing a Lie group representation and don't care about what the hell people construct Haar major. Okay, so since you have this finite, you have this inner products, right? So basically, you can prove the Schur's lemma, and also you can prove that what we prove in the finite representation theory basically is complete reducibility. So this complete reducibility basically says that every finite rep is direct sum of the E rep. So this is the same as finite group case, just doing the inner products and construct an invariant subspace and doing a direct sum. Okay, and also you can also define a character, right? Character is still the same, just character chi of any G, group element G, just define to be trace of row G. Okay, and also the orthogonality relation. So remember that in the finite group case that you can prove that chi1, chi2 inner products, sorry, chi I, chi j inner products delta ij by just write down the summation. But in this case, you just need to change the summation to the Haar major, Haar integral, so still the same. Okay, and there, I mean, everything is similar. Okay, the only difference The only difference is that in the finite group case, we have all the irreducible representation dimension square will be the sum of G. Right, so basically, if you take all the irreducible representation of G and you ask about the dimension of rho, it will square to be G. Right, but in a Lie group case, then this G is infinity. So we don't have this guy because the regular representation is infinity. Okay, but there is a theorem that talking about a similar thing called Peter Weil. And I will not talk this. I will talk it into the future. Okay, so this is just the quick introduction of the matrix group, and maybe in the next video, and I will talk about one example. So basically, I will talk about a simplest example. I will talk how to construct. So this is the like textbook example, how to construct the irreducible representation of SU2. So basically, when I study the finite group representation, my professor taught 3 examples. One is SU2, one is U1, and the one is SO3. Yeah, so these are the one I will prove that all the SU2 representations basically in physics you're talking about spin, right? But basically it's just corresponding to some integer and with greater or equal to 0. And for U1 is isomorphic to Z. This is a Pontryagin duality. And for this SO3, you can map this SU2 to be 2 to the 1, right? So there is a famous topological map from SU2. You can view it as a 3 sphere. And the X to XO3, which is topological, is RP3. It's RP2, RP3. Let me think about it. Yeah, it's RP3. Okay. And this is a 2 to 1 map. And if you can write S3 to the quaternion. Right, so this is a famous quaternion correspondence to SO3. Yeah, so there is still some very technical thing. I can spend a lot of time talking about how to construct each one by one. But in the next video, I will quickly construct the SU2 irreducible representation and construct U1 and L3. And I will definitely finish this irreducible representation. And I will talk about some simple algebra in the next video. Subscribe to my channel. Bye bye. See you guys.